Every year, thousands of brand new motorcycles sit unsold on dealer floors, collecting dust, draining cash, and making sales managers sweat through their shirts. And here is the dirty secret. Those dealers are desperate to get rid of them. In this video, you are going to learn exactly how to walk into any dealership, read the room like an insider, and pay thousands less than the guy who walked in before you. This is the buyer's playbook they never wanted you to have. Chapter 1. The system that makes dealers desperate. Here is something most riders never think about when they walk into a showroom. That dealer does not own a single bike on that floor. Not one. Every gleaming motorcycle you see under those showroom lights, the cruisers, the tourers, the adventure bikes, belongs to a bank. And that bank is charging the dealer rent on every single unit, every single day until it gets sold. This system is called floor planning, and it is the beating heart of the motorcycle industry. It is also the pressure cooker that works entirely in your favor as a buyer, if you know how it works. Here is how the trap is set. When a dealer orders 50 bikes from the manufacturer for the spring season, they do not write a check for those bikes. A bank, usually the manufacturer's own financing arm, pays the factory directly. The dealer then pays daily interest on every bike that sits on their floor. For the first 60 to 90 days, the manufacturer often subsidizes that interest to give the dealer a chance to sell. This is called the honeymoon period. The dealer is relaxed, the bike is an asset, it is shiny. It represents potential profit. But the moment that clock hits day 91, everything changes. The subsidy ends, the interest rate spikes. The bank starts demanding what are called curtailments, mandatory payments against the principal value of the bike. So now the dealer is not just paying interest, they are being forced to pay off the bike itself, cash coming directly out of their operating budget. That shiny motorcycle in the corner is no longer an asset. It is a parasite. It is eating the dealership's cash flow alive. A bike that sits for 6 months is bleeding the dealer dry. It takes up valuable floor space. It requires insurance. It requires a battery tender to stop the battery from dying. It requires staff to dust it every morning. This financial panic is what drives every single decision a sales manager makes, and it creates a predictable playbook of desperate moves. The first move is the desperate discount. They slash the price to invoice. They waive freight fees. They waive setup fees. They just want the bike gone before the bank calls again. When that does not work, they try the shell game, quietly trading the bike to another dealership in a different state to reset the psychology. A bike that has been ignored for 6 months in Florida suddenly looks fresh to a customer in Ohio who has never seen it before. When that does not work, they punch it. This is industry slang for self-reporting the bike as sold, registering it to the dealership itself or a shell company to hit manufacturer volume bonuses and unlock the ability to advertise the bike below the minimum advertised price. Suddenly, that $18,000 motorcycle can be listed for $12,000 without violating factory rules. And when even that does not move the bike, the sales manager walks into the Saturday morning meeting, points at the dusty unit in the corner, and puts a cash bounty on it. $500 straight to the pocket of whichever salesperson moves it today. This is called the spiff, and it is why you sometimes feel like a salesperson is pushing a specific bike on you unusually hard. There is a bounty on its head, and they want to collect every single one of these moves. The discount, the trade, the punch, the spiff, tells you exactly how desperate that dealer is. And desperate dealers make extraordinary deals. But before you can use any of this, you need to know how to read the room the moment you walk through those doors, before you say a single word, because the signals are everywhere if you know what to look for. Chapter 2. How to read a dealership before you say a word. What if you could walk into any dealership and know within 5 minutes exactly which bikes the dealer is desperate to sell, before a salesperson even says hello? You can. The showroom floor is telling you everything. You just need to know how to read it. The first thing you look for is what insiders call an aged unit. Bikes that have been sitting so long they develop physical tells that no amount of detailing can hide. Look at the price tag, not the number, the tag itself. A fresh unit has a clean, crisp tag. An aged unit has been reprinted. Curling corners, slightly different paper, a faint ghost of the old price underneath. Every reprint represents weeks or months of failure to sell. Look under the bike near the battery. If you see a battery tender cable plugged in, that bike has been sitting long enough for the dealer to worry about the battery dying. That cable is a financial flag. This unit is bleeding floor plan costs and the dealer wants it gone. Look at the tires. Fresh bikes have small rubber nibs from the molding process. Aged units have those nibs worn off. Even more telling, look at the bottom of the tire. A bike sitting stationary for months develops a flat spot from the weight pressing in one position. Before you even leave your house, do this. Find the bike on the dealer's website, screenshot the listing with the date visible, then cross-reference it on CycleTrader. Many dealers have been listing the same unit for 6, 8, even 12 months. That timestamp is money in your pocket. One last signal most buyers completely miss. If a salesperson steers you toward a bike you never asked about within the first 2 minutes, there is a near certainty that bike has a cash bounty on it, a spiff. They are not being helpful. They are hunting their bonus. Smile, thank them, and add that bike to your negotiation list. Now you know which bikes are desperate. Now you know how long they have been sitting. It is time to open your mouth, and what you say next will determine whether you walk out with a great deal or leave thousands on the dealer's table. Chapter 3, the 3 negotiation scripts that work. Most writers walk into a dealership and improvise. They figure they will just see what happens. And dealers love those writers because an unprepared buyer is an easy buyer. The writers who get the best deals walk in with a script, not rigid or robotic, but a framework of specific language tested against the psychological pressure points every dealer feels. Here are the 3 scripts that consistently deliver results. Script 1, the "I've done my research" opener. When the salesperson approaches, instead of saying, "I'm just looking," you say this: "I've been researching this specific model for about 3 months. I know what it sold for when it launched, I know what current dealer invoice is, and I've seen what comparable units are selling for on CycleTrader right now. I'm ready to buy today if the numbers make sense." That single statement does 4 things simultaneously. It tells them you know the price history, it tells them you know their cost basis, it tells them you have done the market comparison, and it tells them you are a real buyer, not a tire kicker. Watch the energy in the room change. The casual, slightly condescending showroom confidence evaporates. They go into problem-solving mode. That shift alone is worth thousands of dollars. Script 2, the aged unit confrontation. This script is for the brave buyer, the one willing to name what everyone in the room already knows but nobody is saying. Walk up to the aged unit, look at it for a moment, then say, "This bike has been here for a while, hasn't it? I can see the battery tender, the price tag has been reprinted, and the tires have flat spotting from sitting. I am not saying that in a bad way. I am interested precisely because I know the dealer wants it gone. So let's skip the back and forth. What is the number that makes this bike leave today?" This removes all pretense. You are not playing games. You are offering the salesperson the solution they have been waiting for. Most respond with relief and go straight to the manager with genuine motivation to close. Script 3, the walk-away close. This is the most powerful script and the hardest to execute because it requires genuine willingness to follow through. After the dealer responds with a number still too high, stand up, shake their hand warmly and say, "I appreciate your time. This one just does not work for me at that number. If anything changes, you have my number." Then walk toward the door, slowly. In the vast majority of cases, particularly on an aged unit, you will not reach the door before you hear, "Let me go talk to my manager one more time." What happens in that back room is the manager calculating the floor plan cost of letting you walk versus the margin they lose by meeting your number. On a bike sitting 6 months, the math almost always favors your price. One warning, this only works if you are genuinely prepared to leave. Dealers can sense hesitation. If your body language telegraphs that you really want the bike, they will let you walk, knowing you will be back. Now you have the scripts, but knowing how to negotiate is only half the battle. You also need to know which specific bikes are sitting unsold right now, and exactly how low dealers will realistically go on each one. Because some of these are extraordinary deals, and some are cheap for a very good reason. Chapter 4. The 5 bikes sitting unsold right now and what to pay for each. These 5 bikes are gathering dust on dealer floors across America right now. Some are victims of bad timing, some are victims of a market that simply does not understand them yet, and one of them is cheap because it deserves to be cheap. And you need to know which one before you hand over your money. Number 5. Indian Challenger Dark Horse. The Indian Challenger. Dark Horse is a stunning motorcycle. The 1.8-liter Power Plus engine produces 122 horsepower and 128 foot-pounds of torque. It has a full suite of electronics, cornering ABS, multiple riding modes, a 10-inch touchscreen. The fit and finish is exceptional. It costs around $28,000 new. So why is it sitting? Because $28,000 puts it in direct competition with the Harley-Davidson Road Glide, which has 30 years of brand loyalty, a larger dealer network, and a resale value that Indians simply cannot match yet. The typical American bagger buyer is deeply loyal to Harley. They will consider the Indian, admire it, maybe even prefer it in a side-by-side comparison, and then walk next door and buy the Road Glide because their entire social group rides Harleys and their favorite mechanic knows Harleys. What dealers are realistically accepting? $23,000 to $24,000 on an aged unit, plus all freight and setup fees waived. On an end-of-month push, you can sometimes extract an additional $500 accessory credit on top. Is it a good buy at that price? Absolutely. The Power Plus engine is one of the finest cruiser motors built anywhere in the world right now. If you can separate yourself from the tribal loyalty argument, the Dark Horse at $23,000 is an extraordinary value. Number 4. Triumph Rocket 3R. The Triumph Rocket 3R is the largest production motorcycle engine on Earth. 2.5 liters, 167 horsepower, 221 foot-pounds of torque. A number that belongs on a truck, not a motorcycle. It does 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. It weighs nearly 300 kilograms. That is 660 pounds. It retails for around $21,000. It is sitting unsold because 660 pounds is genuinely terrifying to a significant portion of the buying public. Customers come in, they see it, their eyes go wide, they sit on it, feel the weight shift slightly, and politely say, "I need to think about it," and they never come back. What dealers are realistically accepting? $17,500 to $18,500 on an aged unit. Some dealers will throw in their first service for free, plus a set of branded luggage just to clear the floor plan. Is it a good buy? For the right rider? Absolutely. If you have experience with heavy bikes and you understand what you are getting into, this is a once-in-a-generation motorcycle at a price that reflects market fear rather than actual quality. The Rocket 3R is magnificent. Its problem is the weight, and if that does not scare you, the deal is real. Number 3. Yamaha MT-10. The Yamaha MT-10 is powered by the same engine as the R1 Superbike, a cross-plane inline-4 producing 165 horsepower in a naked Street Fighter package. It is raw, aggressive, and uncompromising. It costs around $13,500. It is sitting unsold because the market it was built for, experienced riders who want superbike performance in a naked package, is smaller than Yamaha anticipated. Most riders who can afford a $13,000 naked bike are either buying the MT-09 because it is lighter and more manageable, or they are buying a full-fairing Supersport. The MT-10 sits in a no-man's land of being too aggressive for most street riders and too ugly for the track day crowd. What dealers are realistically accepting? $11,000 to $11,500 on an aged unit. Some dealers are bundling extended warranties to close the deal. Is it a good buy? Only for a specific rider, one with genuine experience on high-powered machinery who wants maximum performance at a street-friendly price. In the wrong hands, the MT-10 is genuinely dangerous. In the right hands, it is one of the greatest performance bargains available. Number 2. Ducati Diavel V4. The Ducati Diavel V4 is Italian theater at its finest. The 103 cubic centimeter Gran Turismo V4 engine produces 168 horsepower. The electronics package is aerospace grade. The styling is so dramatic it belongs in a museum. It retails for around $29,000. It is sitting unsold for a fascinating reason. The typical Ducati buyer wants a Panigale or a Multistrada, a sport bike or an adventure bike. The 𝐑𝐈𝐃 is a power cruiser, a category that Ducati's customer base does not traditionally seek. And the typical power cruiser buyer, the Harley-Davidson bagger customer, looks at a $29,000 Ducati with a very different seating position and thinks, this is not for me. The 𝐑𝐈𝐃 falls between two tribes and is loved by neither. What dealers are realistically accepting? $23,000 to $25,000 on an aged unit. Ducati dealers have less flexibility than Japanese dealers because Ducati controls pricing more tightly. But on a bike sitting for 9 months, the floor plan math overrides the brand rules. Is it a good buy at that price? For the rider who genuinely appreciates Italian engineering and wants something utterly unique in a parking lot, yes. The 𝐑𝐈𝐃 V4 at $24,000 is exceptional value for the machinery. Just accept that you are buying a bike nobody else understands and decide if you are comfortable with that. Number 1, Can-Am Ryker. This is the one on this list you need to approach with caution. The Can-Am Ryker is a 3-wheeled autocycle starting at around $8,500. It has a Rotax engine, automatic transmission, and requires no motorcycle license in most states. It was marketed as the gateway vehicle for people who want the open road feeling without the balance requirement. It is sitting unsold because the people it was designed for, riders who are nervous about 2 wheels, largely decided that if they are nervous about 2 wheels, they are also nervous about spending $8,500 on something they are not sure they will enjoy. And existing motorcycle riders do not want an automatic 3-wheeler. It falls between 2 markets and captures neither fully. What dealers are realistically accepting? $6,500 to $7,000 on an aged unit. Is it a good buy? Here is the honest answer. If you are buying it for a specific purpose, introducing a spouse or family member to riding, accommodating a genuine physical limitation that makes 2 wheels unsafe, or as a second vehicle for casual weekend use, yes, at $6,500 it is fine. If you are buying it because it is cheap and you think you might enjoy it, put that money toward a real motorcycle instead. The resale on the Ryker is brutal, and the riding experience, while fun, will leave a traditional motorcycle rider deeply unsatisfied. Now you know which bikes are desperate and what to pay for them, but there is one more category of deal that most buyers never even know exists, a category where the dealer's cost basis has already been partially recovered, which means they will go lower than you ever thought possible. And you can find these deals from your couch before you ever walk into a dealership. Chapter 5. The Punched Bike Opportunity. Have you ever been browsing Cycle Trader and seen a current year motorcycle, same model year as the bikes in the showroom, listed as used or pre-owned with only 5 or 10 miles on the odometer? That is not a typo. That is not a mistake. That is a punched bike, and it is one of the best kept secrets in the motorcycle buying world. Here is what happened to that bike. The dealer needed to hit a manufacturer volume bonus, a massive cash payout from the factory for selling a certain number of units within a calendar period. The bike was not selling. The deadline was approaching. So the dealer self-reported the sale, registering the bike to themselves, to the dealership as an entity, or designating it as a demo unit or service loaner. The manufacturer records a sale. The dealer collects their bonus, which might be $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 depending on the manufacturer and the volume tier. And the bike moves from the new inventory category to the pre-owned category. Here is why this matters to you. Manufacturers have strict MAP rules, minimum advertised price, that prevent dealers from publicly advertising new bikes below a certain price. These rules protect brand value. A dealer cannot list a new $15,000 motorcycle for $11,000 without violating the factory agreement and risking their dealer relationship. But a US bike, no rules apply. The dealer can list it for whatever they want. So suddenly that $15,000 motorcycle appears online for $11,000, listed as pre-owned 8 miles. The dealer has already partially recovered their costs through the volume bonus. They just need the floor plan stopped. They will take almost any reasonable offer. How to find these bikes? Go to CycleTrader or CycleTrader's dealer search. Filter by used. Then add the filter for model year. Select the current year. Sort by mileage, low to high. Any current year bike with under 50 miles listed as used is almost certainly a punched unit. When you find one, call the dealer and ask directly, is this bike a dealer demo or was it registered to the dealership? Most will confirm. Some will be evasive, which is itself an answer. When you negotiate on a punched bike, use this specific language. I understand this unit was registered as a demo. The warranty clock is already running, which means I am buying a used bike with new bike depreciation risk. That needs to be reflected in the price. This is a completely legitimate argument and a well-prepared dealer will respect it. What are the risks? The warranty. The moment a bike is punched, the warranty start date is the registration date, not the date you buy it. If the bike was punched 8 months ago, you have already burned 8 months of warranty coverage before you ever put a leg over it. Factor this into your negotiation. Ask the dealer to either extend the warranty as part of the deal or apply a corresponding price reduction. On a punched bike with a running warranty, the combination of below MAP pricing plus the bonus already collected means the dealer can often go significantly lower than they could on a standard aged unit. These are the best deals in the market for the buyer who knows where to look. You now have everything you need to find the right bike, read the dealer, negotiate like an insider, and identify the hidden opportunities most buyers walk past every day. But there is one more piece to this puzzle, and it might be the most valuable of all, because the best deal in the world means nothing if you walk in at the wrong time. Chapter 6, the perfect buying timeline. Here is a question most riders never ask. When should I buy? Not which bike, not which dealer. When? Because the calendar has more impact on the final price you pay than almost any other factor, including your negotiation skills. The motorcycle retail year follows a completely predictable pattern of desperation and confidence. And if you align your purchase with the desperation peaks, you will consistently pay thousands less than riders who buy on impulse. December, the single best month to buy. The last 2 weeks of December are the holy grail of motorcycle buying. Every pressure point converges simultaneously. Dealers are closing their annual books. Sales staff are fighting for their annual bonuses. The manufacturer is tabulating full-year volume numbers for shareholder reports. Floor plan interest has been accumulating all year on aged units. And crucially, almost nobody is shopping for motorcycles in December in most of the country because it is cold. Low buyer traffic plus maximum financial pressure equals the best deals of the year. Dealers who would not budge in August will significantly move in the final week of December. Units that have been sitting since spring are now 10 months into floor plan costs. The math of keeping them one more month is agonizing for any sales manager. If you have flexibility on timing, wait for December. It is worth it. October and November, the end of riding season window. In northern states, October and November mark the end of the riding season. Demand collapses as the weather turns. Dealers who built up inventory for summer are suddenly facing winter with units they cannot move until spring. This creates a secondary desperation window that is almost as strong as December. Buy in October or November in a cold weather state, and you are walking into a room full of financial anxiety. Use it. End of each fiscal quarter. The quarterly bonus window. Most manufacturers pay dealers on a quarterly basis. The end of March, June, September, and December are all minor versions of the December pressure. Dealers chasing quarterly volume bonuses are willing to deal in the final week of each quarter. This gives you 4 buying windows per year instead of just 1. March through June, the worst time to buy. Spring is when every rider wakes up from winter and decides today is the day they buy a motorcycle. Dealer traffic surges. Sales staff are confident. Managers are hitting targets without trying. There is no pressure. The dealer holds firm on price because they know the next customer is walking through the door in 20 minutes. If you buy in spring, you will always pay more. The only exception is a specific aged unit that has somehow survived through winter, which is itself a red flag worth investigating before you buy. The rider who understands the calendar walks out with the same motorcycle as the rider who bought in April, but keeps $2, $3, sometimes $5,000 in their pocket simply by being patient. You now have the complete playbook. You understand the floor plan pressure that makes dealers desperate. Click on the next video to continue the ride. Like and subscribe to our channel, and see you on the road.